happy, healthy every day.
Hello, my name's Daniel Spaniel, and I'm here to bring you Daniel Spaniel's Good Life Manual, yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, and welcome to another Daniel Spaniel's Day. And today, it's a priceless bit of information that's going to enable you to become your greatest version, to be happy, healthy every day. It's going to be, you got to get out in nature, man. You got to get out in nature. You know what I mean? So, if you can see this lovely scenery there, I'm going to show it you. To show you the scenery there. Look. Let's have a look round.
Hello Daniel Spaniel, welcome to my new video. I'm the music kangaroo.
It's beautiful, ain't it? It's beautiful. So,
See you later.
today's bit of information is going to be, you've got to get out in nature, you know, and just go for a walk, basically. No major exercise or anything, just get out in nature, do some deep breathing, you know, and appreciate the greenery, you know, and the trees and everything. So, yeah, happy, healthy every day. So from now on, I want you to spend a bit of time out in nature. You know what I mean? Even if it's cold and miserable sometimes, even if it's rainy. You know what I mean? Sometimes the rain's beautiful. You know what I mean? If you go prepared, you know what I mean? It's just what it does is it takes you out of today's modern life. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Just takes you out and stops you thinking about all the, you know, because most people in this world now have either got debt problems or, you know, at least money sort of, you know, shall we say, concerns, even if they're not broke. You know what I mean? Everybody's still thinking, oh, that's gone too much, or can I afford this, can I afford that? You know, and, you know, the materialistic world that we live in, I mean, human beings' eyes are not meant to be gazed upon square block buildings and four walls and patterned wallpaper and electrical signals and noise pollution, all that, you know what I mean? So just don't need it, man. And when you get away to a lovely, lovely place like this, you know what I mean? It enables you to forget about all those things and just leave them behind. And you'll find that if you've got money worries or, you know, you're worried about your weight or, you know, all concerns, of your general concerns, you know what I mean, that you're getting on top of you. If you get out of the house for a bit, and it's not at work or, you know, or getting drunk or something, just get out of the house for a bit, out in nature, deep breath, hear the bird song and all that, you know. It really, really does your spirit a lot of good. And they've actually got evidence now that there's a thing called what they call, I think it's called forest bathing. And people was going out saying they was getting good healing effects from, you know, lying, hugging trees and, you know, spending the evening in the forest, you know, and stuff like that. But they've literally found evidence now that some of the compounds that these trees give off, some of these pine trees and some of the, you know, they give off a smell, a scent, and then when we breathe them in, like they're shown in tests, that it helps you, like your immune system, it helps you kill the T cells and all these things. It's got stuff in there that stimulates the immune system, makes you stronger, and so, which is really good and really weird, but it just shows all along that these ancient techniques of healing and stuff like that are coming to the science forefront now, aren't they? You know, where, you know, science is just catching up after years and years of dismissing some of these ancient techniques of healing and stuff like that, you know? So, it's one of them. But yeah, get out in nature and try not to think about your problems. What you'll do is when you're walking out and about, your mind will just drift, do you know what I mean? Your mind will drift away, and next thing you know, you'll be thinking about Auntie Bill's back garden, or, you know, Auntie Bill. I ain't going to Auntie Bill. But anyway, you're thinking of somebody's garden, or, you know, what you're going to do for work next day, or, you know, what you're going to have for your tea tonight, or what's that film going to be like you're going to see next week, or, you know, there's all these different ones, you know what I mean? So, that'll do that then. So yeah, getting out in nature is primeval, I'd say. It's primeval. It's built into us to be out here. You know, trouble is, most people can't do that for most of the time. That's why I want to go. I'd like to move to South America. You know what I mean? Preferably somewhere like Ecuador, but I'm not so sure now because they've got a bit of a puppet in charge again. So I don't know. But I'd like to go somewhere along the equator because I believe that our species, the human species, is more of a tropical species. It's more of a, 12-12 situation going on, 12 hours day, 12 hours night, all year round. That's what you're looking for. That's the natural cycle, I believe, of the human species. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, look, we ain't got much fur or nothing like that, so we're not designed to be north. It's like it's too cold for people. You know what I mean? Way too cold. So I'm going to walk back this way now. And I feel that, that's one of our essential needs. I'll talk about these as well again in another deep talk. But one of our essential needs is to set our rhythm. I forget the name of it. I can never pronounce it right, so I sound a bit stupid saying it. Archirhythm or something, I can't say the word, but it's basically the human clock, nighttime to daytime. We're not really meant to be this far north because, we have to adjust. Do you know what I mean? Our body has to adjust all year and back and forth. It really likes to be stable. It likes to be 12 hours, 12. Do you know what I mean? That's what we would like. And obviously, our natural food would be fruits. You know what I mean? Because that hand is purposely built for a apple, pear, plum, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And our fingers are perfectly designed to peel them. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're not hard to eat. They don't need 4 stomachs like grass, if you're a cow. It's perfectly digestible. And the good thing is that if you live on the equator-ish there, where it's 12-12-ish, do you know what I mean? Then, your circadian clock is not gonna change much. And also, you're gonna get, you'll have more stable if your clock's not changing much. Do you know what I mean? Plus, you're going to get lots and lots of vitamin D, which is another one of our essential needs. Do you know what I'm saying? Our essential need is to be warm. No creature's really built to be, on the earth where it just be cold all the time, or you become adapted to that cold. Like, a walrus or whatever, they're used to it. Do you know what I mean? They get, but we're not. Look, we're not got no fur or no ability to really stay that warm. You know what I mean? We're like a buffalo or something, you know what I mean? But we haven't got that. I mean, so we need to live somewhere that's warm all year round, really. And also 12-12, your natural fruit, yeah, it's gonna flower and it's gonna be fruiting all year long. So you'll have constant fruit all year long. And it's no effort to go up to a tree, pick it, eat it as you're walking along. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll think, I want a bit of a dump, I'm going for a bit of a dump over the corner, further up the road or whatever, and then you're depositing yesterday's seeds in its own little package of fertiliser to start the whole process again. So we have got a place in nature, and what it is eating fruits and that's basically what we do. You know what I mean? So I'm going to end it here because I'm going to go out onto the main track bit. Don't always come to this bit, but try and get out once a day. Go for a little walk. Normally, when I was trying to get well a long time ago, I was jogging, doing a lot of training. I got up to at one point when it was like mentally having problems, you know what I mean, in my head. Like, I was getting up to about 16 miles a day, and I used to do that 7 days a week. And that's what actually helped to lead to part of my problem. You know what I'm saying? There's all that lactic acid build-up, over years, because I did a lot of weight training as well. I did a lot of weight training, and I did a lot of you know, like say running and things like that. Never ever real proper cool down, never had a massage properly. Didn't do the cold or hot treatments on the legs or anything like that. Just crack on with the rest of your day and just, you know, just get up at 6, go for a run. Do a run till about 2:30 in the afternoon. Something mad, 2 o'clock. And then I just go home, get ready, go and pick up the baby from school. And so stuff like that. I used to start at, that was when I used to start at just after schooling. So it was like, start about 9:15, finish about 2. It's a bit of a major, you know, like jogging session, ain't it? You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's what led to a lot of my problems, you see. So what I've actually suffered with, I've said from ADD, yeah. I've said from ADD, you know, at death's doorstep, but I haven't explained to you what's involved in that, really. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it from all my past and stuff like that. But basically, you know, I was suffering basically from what I call fibromyalgia, and there's another one, I can't even name it now, where you get, you know, boils, you know, you get them under your arms, you get them sometimes in your groin, that sort of thing. So, and it also had, with the fibromyalgia, I got to a point where if I wanted to put the kettle on, you know, I couldn't fit it up to, you know, I had trouble putting the kettle on. I couldn't lift the kettle up like that, you know, how you normally lift up a kettle like that. I couldn't lift it up. It was hurting me. And my body was literally just breaking down as I knew it. You know, and I tried all these different methods all over the years, because I've always felt a bit like my calf muscles, for as far back as I can remember, really, have always been hurty. You know, you only got to push them, that hurts. You know what I mean? I used to be solid. You touch it, there's no give in your flesh. It's like solid. Do you know what I mean? And basically, what that is you've just blown up lymphatically, and your muscles are all totally infused with all this lymphatic, which looks like, if you buy a piece of steak and you go, oh yeah, that's got a lot of mottling in it, a lot of fat in the meat. Do you know what I mean? That's basically your lymphatic system, because that's like, you know, your fat, you know, it's a lipid, your lymphatic system. When it congeals, it's like a fat. You're building muscles, but because the food that you're eating is causing your lymphatics to get bigger and bigger, so it's a bit like, you know, a swelling or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's blowing up and making you look stronger and bigger and stronger. You do feel strong and everything. You probably are strong, because like lymphatics is very like, it's a one-way system. It hasn't got a pump like the heart. So, you know, it's almost like hydraulics in that point. You stick it stiff, it don't move. Do you know what I mean? You have to move your muscles and all that to be able to move your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system is basically your drainage system. So, you know, and once that stops, you've had it. Do you know what I mean? You've got nothing draining all the cells down, so they all become bathing in this acidic interstitial spaces. So so that's it really. You had problems, you know, you got fungal toenails, or a little bit of athlete's foot, or that sort of thing. You know, a bit of eczema or rashes, or you know, pimples, boils, spots. It's all tied into the lymphatic system, you see. So the only way to deal with that, right, is to clean your lymphatic system. And well, the only way to clean your lymphatic system is to eat the food that humans are designed to eat, and so it doesn't cause a sort of reaction in the body, you know. So like, you know, like milk, let's say milk for instance. So you drink milk, it gets very cloggy, you get like very phlegmy after milk, and phlegm is like mucus, mucoid, Where does mucus come from? Mucous membranes. Why does the mucous membrane start up like that? Why does it produce lots of mucus? Mucus is a form of protection. Do you know what I'm saying? From something bad, something alien, something that shouldn't be there. So, you know. So the best thing you can do, one of the best things you can do, is, you know, go on an all. First of all, just go fully raw if you can. If you've got ailments, you know, it's best to go fully raw. You know what I mean?
6.5 hours later.
You know, start growing, right where it fell. You know what I mean? Then it'd be a tiny little seedling, but underneath this great big tree that was shading it from all the sunlight, it wouldn't really get started. You know what I mean? It didn't have a chance. What it actually needs, right, is somebody to take that fruit away from the tree. Do you know what I mean? And help it by, you know, depositing a nice, like, nitrogen-rich fertilizer capsule with it, like a poo. You know what I mean? So it's perfect symbiotic relationship. So it actually does make sense why the tree would want to keep us around. So if there's anything it can do to help us, do you know what I mean, to stay alive and well, then it would do. Do you know what I mean? You would think so. Do you know what I mean? So this is why you get people, never heard it before until, like, it was about the 80s, weren't it? Tree hugging people used to hug trees and all that, and they say they get something from it. I've tried to hug a tree once, just like saying, oh look, I'm going to hug this tree. I don't know whether I actually believed, I didn't believe in it at the time, but I'm just saying, maybe there's something in it. You know, not that I go around hugging trees myself, but, you know, if I was in need and the wu-wei was to take over me and say, oh, you got to go and hug that tree, I just feel like it. It's the same as a mongoose. Like, when it gets bit by a snake, he doesn't eat the plantain. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really like the plantain, isn't, you know, it's just got an instinct to go for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's living in the wu-wei all the time, innit? You know what I mean? It's got nothing to distract it from the wu-wei. It is always here in the here and now, doing what here and now problems are. The trouble with human beings is they project themselves backwards and forwards, back into time and forwards into time. One, they keep replaying what they've just done and see if it was okay, you know, and judging it, which animals don't do, and they don't even think about it. And then project themselves into the future and saying, oh, what will this happen, that happen, da, 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 da. Trying to manipulate the future in a way, trying to change it all, make it better for oneself. But basically, I find that if you live in the wu-wei, do you know what I mean, it'll come out right for you anyway. Do you know what I mean? You know, it depends on your karma and all that, I suppose. But, yeah, I thought I'd throw that little bit in there about the symbiotic nature between trees and human beings, and also, you know, trees and everything. I mean birds and everything. And, yeah, because, I mean, at one time, if we was a primate, we would have actually been living in the trees like the birds. We'd be climbing and like a little bit of a nest up in the trees. You know, that's where we'd be staying. You know what I mean? So we hadn't come down from the trees that long. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I thought I'd throw that bit in there. Thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, help share and spread the word and alleviate suffering. I love you all. Catch you next one. Bye.